So really quick, before we start today's video, I'm going to get on the phone with SD Bullion and I'm going to buy some gold today. And I'm going to show all of you how easy it is. Now, you can buy gold, silver from whoever you want. Don't buy it. Buy whatever you want. I don't give financial advice, but I'm going to just give everybody an example of how I do it, how easy it is. And again, this isn't me telling you to buy it. This isn't me telling you to buy it from SD Bullion. You can do whatever you want. You can go buy marbles. You can go buy cryptos. You can go buy sand. I don't care. I'm showing you what I'm doing, what a lot of my friends are doing, because I'll tell you, watching this economy continue to collapse on a daily basis. I don't have full faith in the US dollar, even though I have US dollars, but you've got to be diversified right now. You must get back to simplicity. You must own hard tangible assets. And when we are talking about financial assets, we are talking about physical gold, physical silver, not gambling in mining stocks, not gambling in paper, but owning the real thing. So here's how easy it is.
This is Janelle. How can I help you?
Hi, Janelle. My name's Jeremiah. I'd like to make an order today.
Okay, we can do that for you.
Thank you.
And what is your email? Okay. Okay, did you know what you'd like to order today?
I would like to purchase 2 of the 2022 Buffaloes.
These are the gold buffaloes.
Gold Buffaloes. And what are those running right now? Like
And the random year or the 2020s?
is it 2020 or 2022?
Or 2022, sorry.
2022.
Okay. And did you want airtight cases to go with those?
No thanks. But what is the price on the 2022s right now?
They're at a price of $19.21.89.
Okay. And what is
So
the
for 2 of them, it'd be $38.43.
and how much is the random year going?
The random year is at $19.37.91.
Okay.
So
All right. I'll
it's a
take
little more expensive.
I'll take the 2022s then, 2 of those.
Okay. Anything else?
That'll do it.
Okay. And how did you want to pay?
I'm going to send you a check.
Okay. A physical check.
Physical
or
check.
electronic? Okay. You're agreeing to all our terms of use to be locked into this price of $3,843.78. You understand and accept?
Yes.
All right. You'll get a confirmation email shortly. Anything else I can help you with today?
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. Bye-bye. So just ordered 2 gold Buffaloes, the year 2022. And that's how easy it is. Now, I know people that pay by electronic check. Me personally, I'm kind of old school. I will send them out a check tomorrow from my bank account, where I just deposited some money today to cover for this purchase. So that's it. That's 2 ounces of gold that will be shipped as soon as they receive my physical check this week. So I just wanted to do this video for you, to start this video out by doing this for all of you, because a lot of people write to me, and I know people that are friends of mine that don't quite know how to do this or what the procedure is, and it's quite easy. So literally maybe 2 minutes and it's done. And they're not going into my bank account. I'm sending them a physical check. If you don't mind having someone go into your bank account, which most people really don't, I'm just, again, kind of old school. Nothing wrong with that, but I just feel better just sending out a physical check. So that's how easy it is. So that is done, and I wanted to just provide a little bit of that knowledge for all of you out there, because a lot of people do write me and they don't quite know how the procedure works or how easy it is, or just how to do it. That's it. I just called the 800 number, talked to an operator, told them what I wanted. To me, gold under $2,000 an ounce right now is a no-brainer. I don't give financial advice, but I just wanted to provide with all of you how I do it. And again, I don't sit here and blow a bunch of smoke. I put my money where my mouth is because I think that where all this is heading, watching this economy continue to erode, watching inflation continuing to wipe out people's savings and purchasing power, where else do you go but gold and, of course, some silver? So without further ado, let's get right into what's happening today. And this is really going to reinforce with all of you why I continue to buy gold. And I think personally it's on sale. I think gold is going to go much, much higher. That doesn't mean tomorrow or next month. I buy it and I hold it for years. But here's an article that just came out on CNBC today. Unrelenting inflation is driving up costs, leaving more Americans living paycheck to paycheck. Nearly 2/3 of Americans right now, currently, are living paycheck to paycheck. That's roughly 157 million adults right here in the US living paycheck to paycheck as of June. Think about that number. Think about the health of this economy right now when you have 157 million adults living paycheck to paycheck. People are dipping into their savings. They're going into their cash reserves. And when people begin to do that, you know that this is an emergency. People don't dip into their cash reserves unless it's an emergency. They're trying to hang on to their houses. They're trying to hang on to their cars. This now is an emergency. Nearly half of Americans are falling deeper into debt. And all this is going to have a very, very dangerous outcome. It's going to have a catastrophic outcome for millions of people. And this is going to get worse. This is the good times, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the good times. And during the good times, this is why I will continue to stockpile cash, stockpile gold, and stockpile silver and all other essentials. Barterable items, food, water, you name it. This is the time to do it while you can get it. It's still cheap. All of this stuff is cheap right now, even though prices have gone up. They're skyrocketing. And I know when you look at a price of gold, it may not seem cheap to the average person, but wait till you see where it is going. Here's another one coming from the Wall Street Journal. Dollar store dinners and vats of shampoo help families cope with inflation. Think about people now getting their dinners, buying their frozen dinners at dollar stores to feed themselves, feed their families. This is where it's all going. That the middle class of America now shopping at dollar stores. Nothing wrong with that. I shop at dollar stores. I'm looking to save money everywhere. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. I'm trying to be smart. You all are trying to be smart. We will shop at dollar stores to get the best possible deal. But think about, if we thought about this 10 years ago, people would be like, you're nuts. You know, shopping at the dollar store, barterable items, putting emergency food away. People would think you're nuts. But today, it's reality. It's here, ladies and gentlemen. It is now part of our lives. And people now who don't even want to shop at dollar stores are forced to shop at dollar stores because they're getting obliterated. How about this one on the hedge today? Amazon cuts 100,000 employees from workforce in single quarter. This is a global number. Globally, they cut 100,000 employees. And now hiring is at the slowest pace since 2019. Again, these are economic indicators. This is a health check of this economy. And it is telling us that something is very, very wrong, and nothing is getting better. This economy is not healing. It continues to get sicker and sicker. NASDAQ.com, Oracle starts job cuts in US, Oracle software. They're going to target cost cuts of up to $1 billion. Thousands of people are going to lose their jobs globally with Oracle. Now, these are very well paying jobs, and many of these jobs are going to be cut right here in the US. Home prices cooled at a record pace in June, according to housing data firm. This on CNBC. Price gains cool as inventory builds. We're going to continue to watch more of this. Driving by some of the developments in my area today, there are so many houses that are going to be coming to market in the next 60, 90, 120 days, and there are going to be less qualified buyers to buy these homes. Mortgage rates are going to continue to tick up while the availability of qualified buyers is going to shrink. So you have a shrinking population of qualified buyers, and you're going to have a explosion of inventory. Now remember, foreclosures have gone up 700% compared to last year, and you have not seen anything yet. That number is going to really skyrocket, I think, by next year. But between foreclosures, the amount of inventory coming, and just the normal seller putting a house up on the market, we're going to see a lot of inventory coming without a doubt. And when you have people losing their jobs, wage cuts, inflation, mortgage rates going up, this is going to be a recipe for disaster for the housing industry. Anybody telling you right now is a good time to buy a house is out of their mind. Home prices cooled at record pace in June, according to data firm. Okay, remember, that's on CNBC. That's not me. That's the title of the article. The annual rate of price appreciation fell 2 percentage points from 19.3 to 17.3. That is going to accelerate on the way down as the year carries on. And I think we're going to see serious trouble in the housing market in 2023. And it has begun right now. You know, I would have real estate agents reach out to me all the time and say, it's not happening in my area. It's not happening in my city. They've disappeared because now it is happening in their areas. You look at areas in such as Las Vegas, Phoenix, Austin, all those people now have disappeared because we know exactly what's happening in those areas. We are seeing massive amounts of listings come on to market, and people now are wondering if they're going to have a job tomorrow, next month, next year. So we're going to see problems. We're going to see problems. And again, when you have all this inventory coming and you have less and less qualified buyers because they cannot qualify at 5.5%, 6%, 6.5%, they cannot qualify like they did at 2.7, 2.8, or 3. They cannot do it. So we're going to see, I think, a really horrific housing market bust loose in 2023. So keep your powder dry. The economiccollapse.com, good website. Why does the United States just keep getting hit by one historic nightmare after another? Think about that. It was a good article. And just going through it, it makes you think literally every day something bad is happening in the U.S. You look at all the cattle ranchers now selling off their cattle. You look at the amount of cattle that have died of drought. You look at crops that are dying because of the drought. You look at the endless drought in the western half of the U.S., the massive flood that just took place in Kentucky, and my heart goes out to those people. Let's all remember to say a prayer for all those people. I think the number today was like 26 dead and hundreds missing. So if you have a minute tonight, let's reach out, say a prayer for these people in Kentucky, the good people of Kentucky. You're in my prayers. God bless all of you. What a tragedy. But again, it's just another nightmare that has taken place. The U.S. economy contracted 2 consecutive quarters. How about the 37 million euthanized chickens and turkeys a few months back? I mentioned the dead cattle, 20% in real inflation here in the U.S., layoffs every day. We've got trucking issues, railroad issues, cargo ship issues. It's just an issue after issue, nightmare after nightmare. Think about what you're seeing. I don't ever remember a time in history, in our history growing up, where literally every day it was just more and more bad news. And unfortunately, I'm reporting this every day. It just seems to get worse and worse. And I think it's telling us something, and it's telling you and I that we better be prepared and we better continue preparing. Severe economic desperation rises rapidly all over America as nearly half of the nation cuts back spending on food. And I talked about the other day, the food lines, the food charities, in trouble. They're not getting the donations. They're not getting the food. And people are lining up at these food banks now. People who never, ever used a food bank now are showing up at the food banks. Another telltale sign of what is happening to the U.S. economy and what is happening to the middle class and the poor. If people are struggling this bad right now, ask yourself, what does this look like 6 months from now? I think this is the good times right now. This is the good times. We're going to look back next year. We're going to look back at this time and go, wow, those were the good times. I should have been buying more gold, more silver, more food, more security, more barterable items, getting a skill set, doing something to enhance myself to prepare for what's coming. Time is not your friend, ladies and gentlemen, and time is running out. And time is one of the most valuable assets you and I have. And we need to be using time right now to put the odds in our favor to survive what is coming. This is not the end of the world. You know, a lot of people say, this is the end, it's the end of the world. I do not believe that. But it is a change. The world is about to change. And people's worlds are going to change. And they're ignoring that. They don't want to believe it. They want it to go away. They think that if they hope enough, it'll go away. If they ignore it enough, it's going to go away. You know it's not going to go away. You know what's happening right now in front of your face is real. And that's why you are preparing. Again, what does this look like 6 months, 12 months from now? Right now, you have opportunity. You have the opportunity to get ready for all of this. And many of you are actually going to prosper and take advantage of what is going to happen. But let's go over some of these stats here in this article. And this article that I'm reading to you right now is also on the economic collapse, Michael Snyder's site. I think Michael Snyder's a brilliant guy. But here's some of the stats. 45.3% have cut back on their spending on groceries. 59.4% say that they are now eating out less. What kind of impact does that have on restaurants and the local economy? 48% said that they're driving less. 45.4% said that they're postponing vacations and trips. And what does that mean for the economy too? When people are not staying at the resorts, they're not going to the hotels, they're not going to these touristy areas. I live in a touristy area right here in the Palm Springs area. This area depends on tourism. If people aren't showing up, that means they're not going to the restaurants, they're not going to the resorts, they're not going to the golf courses, they're not shopping at the retailers. Big trouble. And I forecast that we're going to see big trouble in my area, in the Palm Springs area, the Coachella Valley, because I don't think a lot of people can afford to show up. It's just not going to happen. And so we're going to probably take another big hit this year. And that means more retailers, more restaurants, more hotels shut down and they're gone. And this is going to have a huge impact on areas like mine. Here's another one from the Hedge. Atlanta Fed slashes. The Atlanta Fed forecasted positive 2.1% growth for the third quarter GDP. They forecasted this on July 29th. Well, today, the Atlanta Fed came out and said, no, we're retracting that. It's not going to be 2.1% positive. It's going to be 1.3%. So think about that in literally, what is that, 2 days? 2 days. 2 days later, now the Fed changes its mind and says, no, it's not going to be 2.1, it's going to be 1.3. This is why I just bought more gold today. And if you have the ability to do something like that, you should do it too. I truly do believe it. Not financial advice. And again, I don't care if you buy it, you don't buy it, or who you buy it from. Just buy it from somebody reputable. That's why I use SD Bullion, link down below. But that's why I'm doing it. And if you're not doing that, buy some canned food, buy some emergency food, put some water away. Make sure that you're working on a skill set. Make sure you're getting better physical and spiritual and mental shape. Everything we can be doing right now. And, you know, to the people out there that go, I can't afford, you know, $1,800 for gold, go buy some silver. If you can't afford that, cut the lattes out. And if you can't afford that, then you need to go get some side hustles and get busy. Another article today. Coming from the Hedge. Port of Los Angeles fends off 40 million cyber attacks each month. I bring this up because it is a matter of time before the U.S. gets hit by a cyber attack. And you know that they're going to go after the banking system, the financial system, the markets. They're going to shut it down. The question is, how long do they shut it down for? And what will be the repercussions of the shutdown? How long would you last if you could not access your money, if you couldn't get to an ATM, if your plastic didn't work, your credit card, your ATM card, your bank card didn't work? How long could you last? What would you do if none of this worked for 5 days? Could you survive? Do you have enough food at home? Do you have enough cash? Do you have enough barterable items such as junk silver? These are things we have to be asking ourselves because it's real. I mean, think about this right here. 40 million cyber attacks each month. And maybe this is another reason why we shouldn't keep all of our money in the bank. How safe is it? Remember, it's digits on a screen. We get hit by a major cyber attack, those digits get erased. You can't get to your bank. You can't use the ATM. It's all down. And basically, all you have is what you can get to, what you are holding. I don't think we can take this lightly anymore. This isn't 10 years ago. This is today. We are talking about today and the real threats of today. Before, people thought that this was just fantasy, that this was make-believe, that this was only in the movies. This could never happen. It's happening every day now. And eventually, it's going to happen to you. Your bank's going to get shut down. Your card's not going to work. The power is going to go out. What are you going to do? Will you be able to protect yourself? Will you be able to protect yourself financially, physically? Will you be able to feed yourself, feed your family? What are you going to do when people knock on your door? These are things right now we need to be thinking about. And one last article coming from CNBC. SEC charges 11 people an alleged $300 million crypto Ponzi scheme. Be cautious, ladies and gentlemen, as people begin to lose more and more money in the cryptos, in these markets, as people are losing money in their retirements, in their savings, as inflation just taxes their income to death, people are going to get desperate and they're going to try to make money somehow. They're going to take risk. And people are taking risk, and a lot of people losing money by taking risk. Again, here's another crypto Ponzi scheme, $300 million wiped out. And these predators are looking for desperate people. I mean, they're on all these sites. They use my picture, my name, and they go down below and they try to WhatsApp you. I don't even have a WhatsApp. But it's always, to get you to buy crypto, try to scam you. So don't ever go for any of these scams. If you go to my channel, many of the other economic channels, and just channels all over YouTube, these scammers are down there using pictures of the host of these channels, and they're trying to WhatsApp you. They're trying to sell you something. They're giving out phone numbers. Don't go for these scams. We're going to see more of this as people get more desperate, as people take on more risk, as people try to make up their losses. They're going to take risk like this, and they're going to lose. There's another example right there. $300 million stolen from people. So be cautious. Be careful. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. I think that this is the time to get back to simplicity, things that you can get to quickly, things that you can hold, things that have had value for thousands of years. Gold, silver, make sure you have food, water, make sure that you're your own asset. Get yourself in better shape, have a skill set, make sure you have security. Every day we are seeing more and more nightmares take place in this economy, and to the average U.S. worker, the average consumer, struggling to just stay afloat, and they're having a hard time. And my heart goes out to a lot of people who are hardworking, that got kids. And of course, people say, well, they shouldn't have had kids. Well, when they had kids, things were a lot different. Maybe they were doing really, really well. Both parents had a job, and they had a nice house. And you cannot always predict how bad things are going to get down the road. People might have had kids 10 years ago. It was a different world back then, maybe 5 years ago. And now things have changed. I love these people that go, oh, tell these people to stop having kids. Well, things might have looked a lot different when they had kids. And now a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years later, after you had kids, things change. Kids are a blessing. And these people out there that always, have an excuse to insult and judge other people because, they had kids, or, maybe they made some bad choices in life. But what these people should do is take a little bit more time, and they should be judging the people who got us into this mess, not the people who went out there and had kids and, have jobs and maybe work in the service sector, and, maybe they're struggling, and we're going to judge them. Maybe they're homeless, and we're going to judge them because, they made bad choices and they did drugs and now they're homeless, and we're going to judge them, or they have mental illness. No, who we should be judging? We should be judging the politicians. We should be judging the banks. We should be judging the people and the entities that got us us into this mess, who have created a complete disaster now, and they're making this disaster an even bigger disaster by printing more money and continuing to lie to all of us about what's really, really happening and what is really going to happen. Nobody's warning you on the television to prepare. That's the problem. They're telling you to continue to invest in these fraudulent markets, these Ponzi scheme markets, these Ponzi scheme cryptos, these overvalued real estate markets. They want you to keep spending instead of preparing. I'm going to leave it there today. God bless you all. Get out there, prepare.